Hi, this is Miss Ann from the Newcastle branch of the Pioneer Library System. This series is 7 parts exploring the elements of art. Each program will focus on one element. I'll discuss how artists use that element, show you examples from children's picture books, and guide you through a project to explore that element. Let's get started. Space refers to the area within, above, below, or right around an object. The way an artist uses space creates the illusion of depth. Let's explore some of these artistic tricks. Negative space is also called white space. It doesn't necessarily have to be white. It just means that it's a blank space. It's not used with any kinds of shapes, forms, or objects.
In Iktomi and the Boulder by Paul Goebel, the use of white space increases the feeling of isolation that Iktomi feels on his quest.
Positive space is that space that is filled with forms, shapes, lines, objects.
Flotsam by David Wiesner.
These densely illustrated pictures are packed with information that add meaning to this wordless picture book.
Foreground is that space which appears to be closest to your eye. Objects in the foreground will be larger than objects in the background.
Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak, to show us how important the wild rumpus is. The objects are very close to the bottom of the page and are very large.
Middle ground is that area between the foreground and the background. It's not close to you, but it's not far away either.
In The Little House by Virginia Lee Burton, middle ground is used to show the little house's isolation and fall from importance.
Background is that area that appears to be farthest from your eye.
Grandfather's Journey by Alan Say.
Objects in the background are usually the smallest and are the highest on the page. They are also the lightest in color. Notice how Mr. Say has overlapped these shapes. All this combines to create a sense of depth.
We've just learned about space, and now I'm going to experiment a little bit. I need scissors, a white piece of paper to lay my construction paper on, glues, and I'm going to use 3 colors of construction paper. They're related. They're next to each other on the color wheel. Yellow and blue are primary colors, and they mixed to make green. So I'm going to cut out some strips of paper, and each consecutive strip is going to be a little bit wider than the next one that I cut out. By arranging these strips of paper, I'm going to give you the illusion of depth. By putting the smallest piece of paper, the highest on my plane, that would be the background, the next largest piece of paper in my middle ground, and the largest strip of paper in my foreground, I have created the illusion of a step-by-step depth. Cut these off. Do you see how it looks like this is closest to my eye? This would be the next closest to my eye, and this is the farthest away. Now I have them evenly spaced apart. Let's see how it would affect it if that got geometrically closer to each other. That even increases the effect of depth.
Play around with foreground, middle ground, and background, as well as size of the paper object and overlap. See how you can affect the sense of depth in your composition.